Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome in for your weekly reading for February 28th through March 7th. Happy March, everyone. For those of you that are new to me, I am Joy Giovanni, Joyful Medium. I help people receive clear messages and guidance from loved ones on the other side, as well as from their own soul. And I have a podcast called Spirit Speakeasy, and I would love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get right into the energies, potentials, and possibilities this week. It's a little challenging with a silver lining and some good news. This first card is the Nine of Wands. Now, if you notice, this person has clearly been through some struggle. They have all these wands upright. They really are defending their territory, standing up for what's theirs. But as part of this, evaluating what's worth fighting for anymore and what's worth fighting maybe in the way that we had been fighting previously. Is this method working? Is it getting us? Yeah, it might be getting all these wands upright and behind us, but is it truly getting us the feelings that we want in our life? Now, right next to this card is Three of Wands. Three of Wands, if you notice, there are three staffs standing. She's holding on to one, but looking out into the future across the distance. So this is part of this evaluation energy, right? Who do we want to be collaborating with, and who is slowing us down or holding us back or keeping us safe in areas that we need to be pushing forward? Is the struggle that we've been going through still the way we want to be doing it? Or are there other options, other paths, other horizons we're wanting to move towards? Three is about collaboration. So knowing that you don't have to be all on your own with this energy, but it really is about getting clear with what do you passionately want? What is the true desire of your heart? And you're going to have to make a choice at some point in here. The next card is letting us know we're headed out on a new path, a new chapter, a new segment of our journey. So if you heard the podcast towards the end of the year, beginning of the year, about the 9 themes of the 9 year, that really is the energy that we're in, the wrapping up of this last cycle so that we can start a new phase, start a new leg of our journey. And really, this journey is amazing. It's fully supported. That's what this little dog represents. We're stepping out into the sun, more completely into ourselves. But it doesn't mean that this transition always feels super comfortable, right? All of the growth that happens outside of our comfort zone, we're required to step out. But if you notice, this person's almost about to step off of this cliff. Yes, they're moving towards this big, beautiful, bright, curious city, but it doesn't mean that they're always super comfortable. So you might not be feeling really excited about this transition. You might not even realize that it's on the horizon. But what Spirit wants you to know is that with this Queen of Pentacles, you have all of the resources you need. You've been doing your due diligence. Up to this point, you've been honing your craft or working on your expertise or really understanding the different layers of what abundance can mean. It doesn't always mean financial abundance, right? You have abundance of creativity. Maybe you have an abundance of a skill or an ability. So even though we might not be super comfortable stepping out onto this next part of our path, if it really is, if we're dreaming big enough, it should feel a little bit scary or intimidating or uncertain. But Spirit's wanting to remind you, you do have the tools you need. You are fully capable. You are powerful. Transitioning from more of a youthful energy into this queen energy, knowing who you are, knowing what you want to some degree, right? The passions of your heart, knowing what you've been through and perhaps what has and hasn't worked in the past, and feeling, even if you're not entirely sure what you're creating or what this new phase is going to bring, we can't be sure of everything, feeling secure in yourself that you have the ability to create, that you have the ability to make connections and make things happen and move things forward in a way that feels really abundant to you. You can do it differently than you have in the past if that's what's needed. I love this little heads up card that's at the tail end of this reading. This is, let me make sure I have it the correct way, the Hanged One. Now, some people think this card is scary, but it is not at all. This card is inviting us to look at things from a different perspective. So, like I was saying, this might not feel like the timing that you are ready to step out in this new part of your path, or this might not feel like you're totally ready for this next phase. But Spirit's asking you, can you look at this in a different perspective? Can you ask yourself, are there any positives I could see of even a challenging situation? Sometimes even challenging endings bring positive beginnings. So are there positive things that you can take from this struggle that you've been through? Have you learned things about yourself? Are you more secure in your own energy? What are you taking with you and what are you leaving behind? And realizing that even though you might fully not understand it right now, that this is a good direction, that this is the next step, that this is what is happening. So what other perspectives can you look at this from? Can you change the narrative, right? If you're feeling very victim-minded or poor me through any of this, is there another way you can look at this situation that makes you realize that you do have more power, more abundance, more ability, more skill than perhaps you realized, that you do have a position of more privilege in some areas than maybe you're acknowledging in the discomfort of this moment? So what other perspectives are available to you? And as I'm saying this, I'm even getting the nudge that if you can't come up with anything from your heart of hearts, perhaps it's time to watch some documentaries about some people that have gone through some things and gaining some perspective or insights from them. Let me know how this resonates with you, even though I can't promise that this is the most comfortable energy, because growth and stepping outside of our comfort zone and stepping onto a new part of our path often can feel a little wonky or less than certain. This is really good news, and this is a really amazing energy to be buttoning up this reading with and to be kicking off March with. As we know, the energy is going to really start churning forward in this month of March through this next segment of the year. So this actually is the perfect timing in the overall energy. And how can you take that on board and really just look from more perspectives than just a limited one? So let me know how this resonates with you. Big hugs, lots of love. Bye for now.